welcome to my channel. Welcome to this week's Whip and Chat. Grab your drinks. I have my fresh hot, wow, very hot tea. I have been craving chocolate all week. So far I've not had any, and it's a good excuse for me to be recording, which means that I can't eat while I'm talking. So that's my theory. Alright, I am working on my custom. This is the end of the palings just here, so we're up to about a third across from the left hand side. So from now on it's actually going to be pretty boring. It's going to be just lots of color, building the whole image up. This is a view that used to, in the house that I used to live at, it was like 150 meters down the hill to this little beach, and I actually had a view of the mountain, and the beach was, you know, somewhere down there, all right, but this is actually the view from the shoreline. I love it. I used to escape. My dogs used to run off and go play on the beach and chase whatever the hell they were chasing. Oh my god, stressed me out no end when they first ran off. I didn't know where they'd gone, and yeah. So I'm working on this sideways. I actually feel like it's too close to me. It's a tricky one. I have just lightly, it's literally just holding itself there, rolled the rest of it, drills out. If it's been a while since I've worked on this, and I have mentioned the stitch diamond drill quality before. It's pretty ordinary. There are popping drills and everything else. Yeah, it is a pain in the behind working on this or storing it or whatever. Yeah. So from that point of view, I recommend her rendering. I hate the drills. I wish she would do something about the drills, but she thinks they're brilliant. Yeah, no, definitely not. I'm really sorry, Alan. Yeah. I shouldn't be leaving a kit then coming back to it. It's popping and it's all uneven. That's just my bugbear on that one. But her rendering is spot on. What am I looking at? I'm looking at the upside down funky Y. And if you don't know what I mean by the upside down funky Y, that. I kind of nickname most of the drills. I think most people do, to be honest. Yeah, but this it's a double-sided. Again, it would be really nice if it was poured glue. Once you put the drill down, it's kind of committed. Oh, and I missed one. The hourglass. Jeez. I have all my drills sorted out to the side already. Ooh. I need to pull. My little drawer holds up my roll because that's quite heavy. So yeah, there's that. Alright, where are we at? It's a work morning right now. It's 10:30 in the morning. I'm actually working late today, every day this week. There was a little bit of discussion, let's say, with hubby when I said they've rostered me to work afternoons. Well, afternoons generally means working from 1 till 9 in the evening. You're working on your own towards the end of the day, and it's 7 days in a row with 2 days off afterwards. Yeah, well, I'm on a short week anyway, you know, short days with the 5-hour days, so it means I'm going to be going in for probably about 4:30 because I need to sort myself out and get ready for work. But even doing 7 days in a row, it's an increase of 10 hours a day. The pain that I'm dealing with now is more pelvic. It's not the back, it's pelvis. But we did just hear last week that the union have got the approval for us to be able to join a gym for a really, really good price. And one of the gyms that I can use is just around the corner from me. So that is going to help me with the strength training. It's going to give me a bolt hole from when I'm going to, you know, murder someone. Yeah. So looking forward to being able to kind of start that and do something regularly, consistently, and also like if it's on a cross trainer, for instance, I'm tracking in the same position so my body is not kind of having to deal with uneven ground or anything like that. To sneeze, itchy nose. So yeah, I'm hoping it's going to work out, and I will keep you posted on that. Look, honestly, gyms do not thrill me, but I need to do something. And you know, it's not like I don't have a dog that, you know, go and walk the dog. No, don't even do that. He's poor, sadly neglected, and I talk to him every time I'm in and out of the house, and that's about it. Yeah, poor thing. I know, I'm terrible. I actually prefer doing stuff with company, and I really struggle doing it alone. You know, you don't have an accountability partner. And okay, Marcus does not shove me out the door saying, go walk Mocha, or anything like that. So Mocha tends to get walked when I feel like it, which is not very often. So yeah, there's that. Oh, Sophia's being a pain. Oh my goodness, my lips are burning. I've had a cold sore on my lip, just here, right? And it was going, sort of. At least I thought it was going. But now it's just like burning, and it's like, oh, I just want to rip my face off. I think I'll go and get some extra lysine tablets. When I'm finished chatting with you guys, and take them. I'm gonna have to blow my nose because it's running. It's like, what the heck? Fed the pets this morning. Need to go and get cat food. Sophie feeds Mocha, and then she runs up and down the driveway. Well, she runs down the little drive. I think she walks back up. And Flopsy, her bunny, was screeching this morning. You know how you get the little girls on the playground screeching? Yeah. Mocha, or Flopsy was screeching. Oh, that's better. What? Your tummy hurts. Oh dear. We'll see how we go. I put garlic into the sauce for the meat yesterday. She barely ate it, but if she only had the tiny bit that she had, that means she is uber sensitive to garlic. Oh, it feels better now. Good. Okay, we'll just keep an eye on it, Sophie. Which, in a way, is good to find out. I put dried garlic in because I don't think we've got any fresh garlic. And we had, talking food now, we had braised beef? Braised beef? No, beef brisket, that one, whatever the heck it is. I'm not actually sure where the brisket is from. Apparently you slow cook these things. So I cooked it for 2 hours on the Weber outside. But on the back of it actually had a recipe thingamajiggy for smoked pulled beef. So I tried to do that. Of course, we had no Worcester sauce, and we had no chili and no cumin. It was just like, this is turning into a recipe from hell. We didn't even have tin tomatoes. So I threw in a slosh of wine, apple cider vinegar, whiskey glaze, what are you doing? Yeah, okay. She's playing with his printing. Whiskey glaze. What else was there? Mixed spices that I normally put on the chips, like hot chips. I have a ground a whole heap and put the excess into a jar, so just those seasonings. Garlic, onion, teaspoon of honey. I think that might have been kind of it. The recipe called for Worcester sauce. We only had a tiny bit. It called for 1/4 of a cup, and I think I had maybe a teaspoon or a tablespoon. It called for chipotle sauce. I didn't have any of that. I don't even know if I can get chipotle sauce here. Oops, missed one. It called for ground cumin and chili. Didn't have either of those. The cumin jar was empty. Oh my goodness, there's more. And I'm struggling not to sneeze again. Oh my lord. I don't know why it's almost hay feverish. Yeah. And it seems to be happening more and more when I'm doing my recordings. Maybe there's something over here that I haven't figured out. Allergic to diamond painting. Could be allergic to something that's on my diamond painting. Anyway. So, look, it was... Oh, and I used a tin of tomato puree instead of tomatoes. Yeah. And yesterday had started off as a bit of a thing because my chemist had to go down and get my pills for my back because I'd run out, and my chemist had given me meds for Marcus last, whatever, 3 weeks ago, and it turned out that they shortchanged us from what the doctor had ordered, because the doctor had said 90 tablets, but because they're a controlled drug and he had written 90 tablets 2 daily, well, 90 doesn't add up to 2 daily, or yeah, so he's kind of going, it'll be fine, it says 90, they'll give you 90. Well, no, they freaking well don't. So this is the umpteenth time I have gone to the doctor, and he has stuffed up the script and meant that we've had to either go back or ring. Today, apparently, the chemist is going to ring the doctor and get it sorted. Yeah. So at the moment, he's out of meds. Because we're basically a packet short. And I was kind of going, why are we a packet? Yeah. Oh. It is really, really frustrating for me as a carer. And, you know, the micromanager organised. Yeah. And then get screwed up by somebody else screwing up. Came home frustrated. Had my meds, but yeah, not his. And if he's sore, yeah, we're in a world of hurt, because, you know, he's not happy. Oh, get in. I'm gonna have to blow my nose again, excuse me. It's not like I was even wearing these clothes, you know, high pollen or anything else like that. Don't know. Last weekend you will have seen, if you have the little bell activated on your subscription, that I went to a stitching retreat. The stitching retreat was like 50 minutes from the city. Now, the road I took, I actually thought was the main road. I don't think it is. The road I took ended up going through a gorgeous, it was just grass valleys. It was rolling hills, grass valleys. It was absolutely gorgeous. I so loved the drive. 50 minutes away, you know, it's a nothing drive. I stopped and did some caches on the way, and then got going, and hello, morning. I'm going to a retreat this morning. I thought I'd take you on my journey. This is a bit of my view. I have literally just stopped for a geocache on the way. And if you give me just a second, I'll try and flip you around. Hello, morning. I've had my hair up in plaits last night. I'm still untying the tangles. My back is good. My pelvis is now what's irking me. I'm so sore this morning. I'm waiting for my pills to kick in, which were literally taken, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. Some dude has decided to take out a guitar and start jamming in the corner. Very strange. I'm not going to drive with the camera up here just because it's not safe. It's too much in my view, and it is not something that I'm going to do, even though it will probably be reasonably stable. Straight ahead of me is what's called the Bridgewater Bridge. There is actually a geocache there as well, but I'm going to get that on the way home. And there is one other stop that I'm going to make on the way. So this is a stitching retreat. I'm there for the day. I'm there until 6 o'clock. Most of the girls are going to be staying overnight. I don't think we've got any guys who go stitching in Tassie yet. I have brought Harry Potter, Hayed, my Heaven and Earth Design Irish greeting or blessing, and I have brought my knitting. I think that's enough to keep me busy. For Harry Potter, I've got a lion I can do. I think I'm only missing one colour from that, and I may substitute it rather than buying another because it's pink for the paws or something. And I can get the sorting hat done. So that would be kind of the plan. I might get some of the banner done as well, but I'd like to make a start on my Hayed, even if it's just measuring up and putting the first 10 stitches in. That's all I'm after with that. So I'm going to hit the road, and the drive is 50 minutes in total, so I should be there fairly soon, and I will drop in videos during the day. Bye for now. Went into this valley, and there was a little kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, hamlet. You know, there's no shops or anything. Why it has a name of any description is kind of beyond me. But anyway, it was called Broadmarsh, and there were these gorgeous historic houses. Not many houses, so you know, you've got lots of land, history, all that kind of thing. And then from Broadmarsh, the road went through Pelham Nature Reserve, which is actually like a forest. And they're resurfacing the road, so it's all gravel and diggers and all that kind of thing. Now, it was a Saturday, so they weren't working on the road, I don't think. No, I don't think they were working when I drove through. But drove through, and the trees just got taller, and the road was really quite nice and wide. It was, and I actually remarked in the car to no one, you know, it's like driving into Narnia. It was just amazing. You know how you read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, or if you've ever read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, let me know. Do you want me to read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe to you? I love that story. But it doesn't start there. It actually starts with The Horse and His Boy, which is the previous book. But anyway, I digress. It was like Narnia. And you know how when the kids, because they're 10, 11, 12 kind of thing. So, you know, they're shorter than me, but not too short. And they climb into the wardrobe, and they're brushing the fur coats aside, and then they break out into the wood, and how you've got these big tall trees, and how it, you know, just how it kind of feels all kind of closed in. Well, that's what this was. It was all kind of closed in, big tall trees. I felt like a kid. It was just, it was magical. And I meant to take a picture. I was actually very tempted to put the camera onto the dash for this, but I didn't because it wouldn't have been strapped down, and I don't know why I didn't do it on the way back. Maybe it didn't look as impressive coming out as it did going in. Don't know. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. But the valley that we were in, it's a little bit weird because, and I'm saying names and I know you don't know these names and places or anything, but they called it Derwent Valley. Now, Derwent Valley, from my point of view, is another section. So then you've got this valley, and then the next bit across is what they call the highlands, the plateau. So I'd have to look at it in more detail on a map to really kind of see how all of this kind of plays out. But there were these like undulating hills, and it was magic, absolutely magic. Now, I did take a video at the farm. I will actually insert it here as well. I walk you around the Rathmore estate, well, the little bit that I was walking around in, and I introduce you to Hercules. What have I done? Sorry, I'm looking for drills. I'm looking for the star. Why did I put that away? Oh, I thought there was more. Oh, okay. Brain. I introduced you to Hercules. I think I call him Clarence for some stupid reason because my brain was very much not switched on with remembering names this day. I think I called the host Callie Donna. Callie and Richard own the property. Yeah, it was all kinds of dunderheaded pippa on the weekend. We did actually have one of the ladies in the group, the Stitchers. She is called Donna, so I must have misheard who was who in the zoo, and yeah, put the wrong name with the face. All right, welcome to Rathmore. This is Rathmore Cottage. This is apparently it's a 95-acre estate, and I'm going to take you down. There may be a possum. There's going to be lots of possums. Sorry. There may be a platypus down in the lake. There is a sign saying platypus. This thing scares me. I don't know if you can go out onto that jetty or not. That thing there. This is a shed where apparently the Needle girls are going to be eating dinner. I can't get in. It's apparently gorgeous, but the gate is closed on the door, or the big door is closed. I don't know if there's any opening. It's called a stable. There is no light whatsoever that is natural in there, so it must all be special lighting inside. There are buildings scattered throughout this whole place, and apparently they had a wedding shoot here on Wednesday, so there's remnants of flowers lying around and things in arbours. So oh my god, I mean, it's quiet. We're actually stitching up in that shed there, which is nice when you've got the sun coming in, but if you don't have the sun coming in, it's a little bit cold. So this morning, when I got here, my back was kind of going, yeah, I should have brought a rug. If I'd known to bring a rug, I would have brought a rug. So, I've done some stitching, was hoping to actually get my Harry Potter sorting hat finished today, because it's only 1,078 stitches or something, and it's, you know, that kind of thing is feasible when you colour block. My sorting hat is all confetti, so it's not going to happen. But there's butterflies everywhere. I saw a dragonfly out in the front yard where we were all sitting having lunch, but I didn't get a picture of it, unfortunately. There's thistles all over the place. There are the main gates into the house. The bedrooms are gorgeous. I don't know if I can do a walkthrough through the house. This is it's an 1800s house. It was in the family, Donna, the host, was saying, for 150 years. Oh my goodness, this is just incredible. I don't know if there's fish in this or not. But look how gorgeous that is. There's birds. I'm sure there's, I have seen wallaby poo everywhere, so this place is just going to come alive tonight. Just spooked off some ducks. But, wow. I mean, why would you put a jetty out there as high as it is? Answer it on a postcard, please, because that looks treacherous. It could be the pump for the water, to be honest. That's a pump house, and there's a pipe coming up, and the jetty is literally to support the pipe, so it waters the house. So you're not meant to go there. The couple who now own this estate only bought it 5 years ago, and they've, you know, put money, time, investment, and everything else into it. Listen. So I think it's cicadas. See, we've got a butterfly down here. Have I got it on camera? Hang on. There, right. So they're mating, or doing what butterflies do. It's a 20 odd degree day, so 70s. It is just glorious. The birds. The ceilings are like 20 foot high downstairs and about 2 foot tall upstairs. There's 2 little bedrooms with the ceiling that, you know, I can touch the ceiling. And even standing on the shoulders of my husband, I couldn't touch the ceiling on the downstairs. Apparently the decorator who did it, she was in her 70s when they sold, in an acrimonious divorce. And she decorated it with stuff from Sydney. But gosh, look how... It's just valley, it's just grass, it's... for me, it's heaven. I don't know if I can walk around that way and get through, because there's fencing. Oh, I might be able to get up to the shed, so we'll wander up here. Sheep get to come all around here. There are 60 sheep on the property. There is a bull who apparently, if you give him bread chunks, he will be your friend forever and lick you to death. So yes, there's that bull there. They have 3 horses. Well, Donna said it was 3 horses. It's actually 2.5. There's a little pony and 2 horses. One of them came over and had a bit of a sniff, and oh, he smelled so horsey. It was just gorgeous. Coming up to a septic tank here. Oh, Clarence is actually in the middle of Penz. I'm not sure how close we'll be able to get to him. And the sheep shed, which is this building here, is apparently worth seeing too. Hello. Let's see if you can get close. See if we can get close. They had chickens, but apparently they salted a fish, salt baked a fish, and they killed the chickens with too much salt in the compost. The toilet is a choice of outhouse. Can you come here? Come here, boy. Ooh, wire. Hello. He doesn't look that old. Hello. You look like a teenager. Come here. Come here. Should I come up to the other gate? He's tall. So you can see how he gets through that gate. He's a big boy. Hello. Look at the size of your head, mate. Hello. Meet Clarence. Great big horns that you polish. Look, it's all shiny and smooth. Hello. Oh, that was my thumb. Hello. Hello. Yeah, ew. Great big tongue. Aren't you beautiful, boy? Hey? Hello. Hello. Hey. You're missing it. I'm kind of scratching his paw. Look at that. Hello. 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 Look at that big nose. Ain't he beautiful? Alright. Okay, you ready for an Easter egg? Shh, be very, very quiet. Alright, on today's video, I show you around a farm called Rathmore. And there is a particular baby. He reminds me of a teenager, I don't know. He's a gangly teenager, he's black and white, and I actually call him in the video incorrectly. His name is Clarence in the video. He's not. His name is actually Hercules, and I give him a bit of a head scratch, and then I go on and I meet the rest of the animals, which I don't think the chickens were around for. Anyway, your Easter egg today, and this is to go towards a $25 US $25 DAC gift card, which you can use for any purchase. You can stack them with the discount code, you can stack your gift cards in general, and this is a gift for you. Now, the only criteria are that you must have filled in my Google form, details in the description, and other than that, have at it. So the keyword that you need to write down in a sentence, please, is Hercules. Tell me what you think of the beastie. Wasn't he cute? Seriously. So this Easter egg may pop up in another video. Keep your eyes peeled. All right, back to the video. We'll keep going. I think he's only a youngster. Ooh. Rough ground. Lemons everywhere. Ooh, shell. And manure. Looks like they just toss stuff around. Let's see if we can get into the wool shed. The wool shed is so extensive. Recently purchased a press. I think that's how they used to put it into the old bags. So this is a traditional old wool shed. Sorry, camera is being a bit of a... What are you doing? Being a dill. There we go. So you've got the little windows on the floor. I actually have a friend of mine who, well, I say a friend of mine. She was actually the girlfriend of my son, my eldest boy, who has since split up with him, clearly, and she has got married. So you've got stamps there for painting on the side of the bags that they put into the press. There's a weighing scales here for the bags. there is the wool press, so it gets put into one of those, squashed down, put into the hessian kind of bags, and then stored. And you can smell the sheep, you can smell the lanolin. There's the table that they toss it on. They pick off all the shitty dags, like these kind of things. They'll pick them off, they'll leave the clean fleece in the middle, and they just toss these in the air. There's the stamp. So they're actually a AAA M, white faces, Cori, white faces. So they've got the different sheep bays, the different categories of wool as well. So AAA is bloody good merino wool. That's the frame that the bag goes onto. And these are the shearing machines. They're supposed to have slings these days for the shearers, because here's you can smell the sheep shit here. They're supposed to have slings for the shearers for their backs, but all of this is wood, sliding, swallow nest up next to the light. But this is all, you know, this would be full of noisy sheep. It's just, it smells of wildlife. My sister used to actually, not here, but in Ireland, in the I think in the fields in Ireland, you'd often get wool stuck in the wire fences. So you've got the bits that they let them out here into a holding pen, and then they would load into the truck there. They actually catch them in this pen, drag them through these double exit, the double way doors, throw the fleece into these bags, and then they get sorted from there. This is maintenance, looks like tools. This is all authentic. This was a working farm forever and a day. There's grinding, shows the sign, lights on and off. I mean, this is a real Aussie sheep shearing shed. It's a working farm. The birds would be coming through here like Godot, collecting little bits of wool. But yeah, Teresa, my sister, used to take the bits of wool because it's laced with lanolin. It's so good for your feet or for your skin. It's a thick oil. We actually spray sheep oil, lanolin, as a lubricant on squeaky machinery. It's brilliant. It's just like a natural grease. So they've made this into like a wedding venue. So you've got the unsightly shed up here, but this yellow thing here, have you figured out what it is yet? It's a gas pump, and it's actually got gallons on it. I don't know where it's come from. I don't know. I can't tell if it's Australian. All I know is it's standard fuel that they kept on site. There's the vent for the tank, so it's probably still there. They've got this dressed up, the wooden shed dressed up for weddings, for that wedding shoot. They've got all the authentic wooden fences that I've shown you before in the past, as well as the typical Aussie fences with these, you know, flimsy looking bits of wood and wire and stuff like that. They've got a little shelter for the gazebo for the horses, and the gate's open, so I might walk down and say hi. And again, stuff everywhere, butterflies everywhere, crickets everywhere. They do ride. They've got a saddle up in the side of the shed, and Richard, the owner, I think rides the Indian motorcycle that's right next to it, which was like, oh my god, there's an Indian, that's so cool. So yeah, there's a couple of beautiful horses. And then the little cheeky pony. Not really interested. I don't know their names. And I don't have any treats for them either. Other than the flies. If there wasn't flies... But yeah, isn't it gorgeous? And it's just paddock and pasture, and yeah, it's dry as all hell. Here he comes. Hello. Hello. Hi. That's a cockatoo. Noisy pterodactyls. Hello. Hi. Hello, beautiful. Hello. It's just a camera. Oh, you smell so horsey. You do. You smell so horsey. Yeah, have a good sniff. Yeah, I was petting the cow, the bull. Yeah, him. I was. Hello. Yeah, don't eat me. Hi. It's camera. Boop the snoot. Hello. Hi. You're gorgeous. Yes, you are. I hope some of that was on camera. He's going to get a boot in the backside from his mate in a minute. Hey. Hello. This one's sniffing my bag. Hopefully he doesn't bite. Hello. And sniffing the camera. Hi. Hello. See, that's been my time out here with these guys. They're the eyes. Hello. Aren't you gorgeous? Yeah? Aren't you gorgeous? Hello. Hi. Hello. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. One of the girls here, I'll let you go. Yeah, hello. Is a vet nurse. So apparently one of the first things she did was come out and talk to the horses too. I know, it's a thing. And now he's following me. See, look. I wish. Alright, I'll let you go. I'll, yeah, maybe get some more video later. Talk to you soon. Bye. It was just magical. And when I first arrived, because the girls were all there, already parked up, already sorted out on the table and all that kind of thing. And I sat down in the back of this huge shed that you could probably fit maybe 10 cars into, just to give you an idea. So closely spaced, 10 car spaces, that kind of parking, that kind of size shed. It was just a metal shed. The wind was rattling the metal shed. Typical Aussie shed, to be honest. Typical Aussie farm shed. But so the wind was rattling, and I sat down. I kind of went far out. I'm a bit cold, and kind of thought, oh, if I'd known I was going to be sitting out in a shed like this, I might have brought a rug. Didn't bring a rug. Or I would have put a heat pack on. As it was, I was wearing my SJ belt, my belt around my pelvis. And I actually kept that on all day, pretty much. Now, that is diamond. There's not many of these. So, we're sitting in there, and I put my jacket on. But we knew it was going to warm up, you know, later on in the day. I knew it was going to be up to 25 degrees or whatever. And as the sun moved around, the heat did build, and it got to the point where I was just wearing the t-shirt. And yeah, it was just gorgeous. It was open, fresh air. There were flies bumbling around. the toilet was either an outhouse, or you could use the cabin 2 of the girls were staying in. We could use their toilet, which, you know, flushed. The other one was just a, what they call a long drop compost toilet. I actually didn't go in there at all. I meant to go in just for curiosity's sake, but I didn't. Yeah, and Callie made the food. Had as much tea or coffee as we wanted. Lunch was some salad in a great big wooden kind of trough. It was huge. The quiche that she made, she cut these tiny pieces, and I'm kind of thinking, where's the rest of the food? You know, again, on a big wooden kind of trough, that she cut it up. It was all quite rustic, and it was really, really cool. The food was, you know, there's plenty of food. And she made homemade cordial. So there was lemon and elderberry, there was cherry and something, and there was something in ginger, I think. And she goes, you treat it just like cordial. And of course, one of the women either wasn't paying attention or something, but she goes and she pours the bottle of lemon cordial straight into her glass. And I was like, no! So she then divvied up the cordial to everyone else. It was funny as somebody was saying, oh, we should have let you take a drink and see what your reaction would have been. But the lemon cordial was just amazing. It was so, so good. And then we got to sit out on the front deck, which had the view that I put as a post on Instagram. I'll try and insert it here. And this was the view from the front deck kind of veranda. It actually overlooked the road, which was, the road is called Hollow Tree Road. Now, when I was riding a motorbike, I rode the Hollow Tree Road. It's a road in the middle of nowhere. It's perfectly paved because nothing seems to use it. It's still perfectly paved. There's no potholes. There's no nothing, you know, screwing it up or anything. And the twists and turns are just magic on a motorbike. So, this is the road that the cars are coming along. Yeah, so they're kind of hurtling along at a rate of knots. Lots and lots of motorbikes hurtling along as well. And being that it was such a glorious day, the bikes were out. So yeah, there was the odd kind of noise disruption. But other than that, it was just gorgeous just to sit and chill. And then Callie, being the gorgeous host that she is, started telling us the history of the property and how in 1823 or something they were given, the landowners were given 6,500 acres, I think, was part of the settlement kind of thing to grow the state, something like that. It was something weird, you know, it was a large number. And then she found somewhere the sale notice back in the 1800s, and it was, you know, 27 prime bullocks or prime steers. And she was kind of going, why would they have prime steers? Well, that was to get the rock from the quarry to the house, and the steers did the hard labour. There were horses in the deal, there were sheep in the deal, something like 6,000 sheep, thoroughbred horses, all of that kind of thing. Now the property was bought and then put into, or was then in this family for 150 years. So it was, you know, effectively preserved and maintained and everything else. And then the guy who owned it decided that he didn't want to deal with the house anymore, but he wanted to just maintain the land for his sheep or something. So he split off the house block, which is something like 65 or 95 acres. And that is the portion now that Callie and Richard own. And they have moved down from the mainland 5 years ago. You know, the for sale thing was a bit of a debacle as it was a marriage split, and he refused to sign any of the paperwork because he wanted to hold the ex to ransom over the property, and they were kind of going, are we going to have it or not? And yeah, they said it was an adventure trying to get the actual house finalized because this guy was just playing silly buggers. But they got it, and it was in a pretty poor state except for the inside of the house, which the previous owner, crazy lady, had decorated in period pieces. Callie ended up going around 4 different shops, I think, and buying estate furniture. And as we were kind of talking, she's kind of going, yeah, I'll have that one and 3 of those and 1 of those. And basically went around all these shops and furnished it with the period pieces, which is what you can do. I mean, there's quite a bit of estate furniture here, and because it's so unwieldy, it doesn't leave the state, so what comes in stays in Tasmania to a certain extent. So you've got that, you know, provenance of the furniture. Like, we have a ship's sea chest that came across on the boat, made out of whatever wood, pine, that is, you know, in the family forever and a day. You know, it's nice having that provenance. So yeah, she's furnished the whole place, and there was a lot of maintenance needed to be done on the buildings then outside, but the inside of the house was pretty nicely decorated. But yeah, so generous with their time, so generous with, you know, they actually let people sit in their own lounge, you know, which is kind of odd. So you're going there to stay, and you might be staying in their house, but they're kind of there and swapping stories and all of that kind of thing. So you do get to meet the locals. Yeah, it's just really, really cool. I think it's one of those farm stays that is really, I don't know, it's like going home to family, I think. Very much felt comfortable, and, you know, they have family come down from the mainland quite often. She said COVID really put paid to that, but the family will come down and stay, and I think the house just must, you know, bustle with people and catering and all that kind of thing, and it was just amazing. And not, I didn't stay overnight because I didn't have, you know, the extra money for that, but it wasn't an unreasonable accommodation cost or anything like that. So yeah, it's going to get so popular in the future with weddings and, you know, things like that. They had a blues band weekend, I think, or a blues band day, just recently. They had a wedding shoot, I think, during the week. I lost Drill. I think I lost. Alright. They had a wedding shoot days before we got there. So there was still remnants of flowers around and stuff. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the 4 cross 15. And the crescent moon, because I missed it. Crescent is 10. 10. Alright. This one, because it's 40 odd colours, is actually a bit of a pain in the neck. So I actually have the legend printed off just to the side here, and it's easier for me to search for the symbol down the legend because it's rolled up on both sides. Well, I think it's only on one side actually, but yeah, trying to hunt through the box is a pain in the behind. Alright, so 10 and 15. Okay. Now we're getting into confetti. Let's do the square. Yeah, so anyway, this place was so nice. Very relaxed, very relaxing. The girls had been kind of saying, oh, are you coming up the next day? And I was like, no. I didn't think I could maybe go for both just during the day. I don't know. I don't know what I was really thinking. But look, the one day was really nice. It was really special. And just as I was about to leave, poor Mel comes up to me, and I'll fix this in my threads thing. She comes up and she says, look, I really need to tell you about this. And it was like, oh God, what have I done? And she says, the thread is called Au revoir de soie. And it was like, oh, is that right? Is that all? Oh. Yeah, she said, you know, high school French. I said I didn't learn anything about French and, you know, silk French when I was in high school. Yeah. I said I learned about cats and dogs. Yeah, she said, yeah, but I learned French when I was over there. I said, I still didn't learn anything about silk when I was there. So yeah, Au revoir à soie is, and it's spelt S-O-I-E. So yeah, how the heck was I supposed to know it was Au revoir à soie? Gosh. Anyway, it shall be fixed. It was funny, and it was, you know what was really funny? Listening to the girls kind of talking about what they like watching on YouTube. And here's me kind of, I'm a YouTuber in the group, and a couple of them follow me. Hello. And I follow a couple of them on, you know, Instagram or whatever. So I'm watching, for instance, Sarah is doing a circle with Australian flowers, and she kept talking about she. I think there might be a human within these flowers too. I'm not quite sure. But she's working on this thing, holy cow, in minuscule. Yike. She's working on, I don't know, 28 or 32 count, and she's working 1/1 full crosses. Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway. So, you know, they're kind of sitting there, and one of them is kind of saying, oh, well, I want to watch Floss Tube. I just want to watch the cross stitch bit, and I want, you know, I want to know where it is in the video. Go to it, watch the cross stitch, and then switch off. And, you know, go to the next kind of thing. And she's too impatient to watch Stitch With Me or something. And somebody else was saying, but you listen for the stories. And she kind of went, I don't want stories. It was hilarious. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And, you know, I don't know these girls, you know, terribly well yet, but they were so friendly. And, you know, so chatty, and it was just, it was like friends, you know, getting together. It was really cool. And we actually have a meetup once a month, so I've got to know them from that, but they're not always available on the Sundays to, you know, to catch up. So I'm catching up with them again on Sunday, before I go to work. So that'll be nice. And yeah, I started my sorting hat when I was up there. I also started my Heaven and Earth design when I was up there. I just wanted to get it started, and I got that done. I didn't finish my sorting hat up there, which was weird because it was only 1,000 stitches, which is kind of like a full day, like blasting through it. But no, it was confetti and it was crazy, and when you're busy yapping anyway, it's like, well, it didn't really matter. But I did finish the sorting hat yesterday, so it was all kinds of cool. It looks amazing. And now I need to get going on my little lion. I think I have most of the floss for the lion. I think I'm only missing pink for the paws, and I think I'll just sub in a pink that I've already got because it's only like 20 stitches. So I'll do that, and then I'll be able to start working on my banner. But I have been so slack at this Harry Potter thing this month. I've had so much free time, which is ridiculous because all my sals finished really early in the month. And it was just like, I'm just too jaded, too tired, too somethinged to pick up Harry Potter and Letters from Hogwarts and keep going with it, which is really slack of me. So I've probably missed, I don't know, a good 7 days stitching. And it is now the 22nd? Yeah. So I've got another week to work on Harry, and then it's back to the big sales, which were like Cloud's Factory, There Is No Planet B, and Dark Queen of the Sea, Mermaid, Hag, or Harlot as I call her on Instagram. Yeah, which would be really cool because they are so much fun to see what the next drop is. On Cal's live this morning, because it's Monday morning with me, she does her live on Sunday night. It's time zones, don't stress about it too much, but anyway, we were chatting there, and the Hogwarts, sorry, not the Hogwarts, the Frogwarts retreat is coming up, virtual retreat for the Black Needle Society, and Therese was asking about it. And I'm still waiting on my boxes. My boxes are up in customs, up in Sydney, and it's really frustrating that my delivery app says delivered, and I'm kind of going, it's not delivered. Because what they seem to do, the packages come through by a courier or something, and they relabel them when they get to within Australia. I don't understand it. Maybe hubby does, and sorry?
It's a multi-stage system delivered to the next point. So the last courier says, I've delivered it to the next courier.
Yeah, but either way, it gets relabeled.
Yes.
Within Australia.
System,
Yeah. So it's pain in the behind, to be honest. But they all seem to be stuck in the mainland, in Barowla, wherever the heck that depot is. Quarantine, yeah. And they're all working, you know, short-staffed, and it's just like, oh, bloody delays. It's really frustrating when it's kind of like, just up the road. Not really. But I can't get it. Anyway, first world problems. So I'm hanging out to get those boxes. Oh, that was a complete schmozzle, that placement. And you can't slide as easily with double-sided tape. These drills are, yeah. There was one there with a bit of a raft that I probably should have discarded but didn't. Get out of it. What else have I got to share with you? Trying to think. Does anything exciting happen? No, I don't think so. Oh. Blue tack. My head of my placer is actually starting to curve. You know how the curved heads seem to be a bit of a trend lately? Well, it happens automatically. The way I've been placing it, I kind of rock my placer down, so it's starting to wear off those corners. And Mrs. Coffee had said about filing it flat. Yeah, I kind of like how it curves. So if you can get your hands on the curved placers, do it. I think they're pretty good. And I think one of the few places that is doing it over in the States is actually Redneck Beauty, Patriotic Beauty, whatever. She's, I think she's back to Redneck. yeah, so she and Terry are doing those stainless steel heads, which will last and not die. I do have some everlasting tips from Nicole, the Australian chick. They are a small fortune, and I don't know why they're as ridiculously expensive as they are, but I mean, I guess if people are going to pay that kind of money, she can charge what the hell she likes, and she certainly has. But you know, it's expensive, so if you can get yours from the States, go for it. But yeah, if you're in Australia, it's probably still cheaper to go with Nicole than it is to buy from the US. Although, in saying that, Redneck does actually do different sizes. So I think Nicole does some different sizes, and she started getting into more different sizes, but it was very slow doing that. She doesn't sell her stainless steel tips with O-rings, whereas Patriotic Beauty does. And the O-rings mean that you can fit it into any pen, whereas the ones that I got from Everlasting, I think I ended up having to put washi tape or something into it to get it to stay, because otherwise it would slop out, which is very annoying. Yeah, but 43 bucks for one tip. Yeah, when you consider how many pens you've got on the go. Let's see. Oh, tea is good temperature now. Alright. Somebody had put a post up on their YouTube. And this might be a little bit controversial. But they weren't having a good day, and they were berated for being real on their channel. I think we all need to remember that we are not actors and actresses. We are real people. This is not TV. Yes, we can do multiple takes, or we can edit bits, you know, in some circumstances, but a lot of the YouTubers do not edit their videos. What you get is what you get. And I think in some instances, if you're watching a certain channel, I kind of hope that you're watching it for who they are and what they offer. And if somebody is having a bad day, shut up. If you don't like it, just turn off the channel. But to berate them and tell them they're not allowed to have a bad day, to the point where this person is taking a break from YouTube now, is, frankly, it's disgusting. If somebody is having a mental health episode, period, or funk, whatever you want to call it, the black dog is, you know, wanting to play ball, they aren't in a safe enough space themselves to go shove it up your what's-it. They're just going to take the attack and they're going to feel it. And to kick someone when they're already down and struggling and tell them that they're not wanted and they're moaning and complaining or whatever the hell it is not appreciated. I'm sorry, but that's just cruel. It's not just mean, it's cruel. Now, when I did my video last week, the messages of support that I got from my subscribers was just amazing. And listen, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for just the light comments, for showing me that you're still there, for, you know, just, you know, saying I can be real. And I wish to God this other YouTuber had people like that. And I know people did. After she had said, I'm taking a break, she got the support from people, but I really wish that she hadn't even faced that kind of comment that made her think to pull out. So yeah, I know subscribers, you know, you don't necessarily want to hear the down stuff. You don't want to hear when someone's having a bad day or whatever. And I get that, you know, you come on to be uplifted, but that doesn't mean that you kick somebody else if they're not having a good day. And maybe you find that, as I know with me, I know when I shoot the breeze and I let my, you know, brain just kind of flow, the weight that started, once it gets aired, is gone, and the life kind of comes back in, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so it's kind of like, well, just bear with each other. It's, you know, just be nice. I don't think the cruelty was required, necessary, or anything else. And okay, I don't have time to watch however many channels I've got. I think I've something like 200 channels that I've subscribed to, okay? I don't have time to watch all of those. I watch or pick and choose my people. And depending on how I've gone, I will see more of some and less of others. Because, you know, I just might be busy. I can't plug into the live as often as I might have wanted to. You know, for instance, I would have always gone to Dave and Amber's live. Well, Christmas just, I think, took it out of me. And with Christmas then, or a post-Christmas, so I had the premieres that I was organising, and then the post-Christmas kind of slump. And I struggle as it is with an event, and funnily enough, I went away on my Stitchers retreat and I haven't hit the post-event crash, the depression that I normally get afterwards. Interesting. I don't know why that has happened like that. Normally, when I ever went away camping, scouts, I was a venture scout as a teenager. Whenever I went away for the 2 days, I'd come home and the depression that hit was like somebody had got a baseball bat and beaten me to a pulp afterwards. I would spend pretty much all day Monday in bed, miserable, like, and I guess it was the stark extreme potentially of what I was living in. You know, but no, I didn't have that. It was nice to come home, you know, to the craziness that I have, and I haven't had that. I want to go back. I mean, I do. I want to go back. Rathmore was incredible, but there wasn't the kind of fear of missing out kind of feeling. Does that make any sense? You know, the whole, I'm not there and I missed the dinner, and I don't even know what was supposed to be happening on the Sunday. Don't know how long the girls were staying for on the next day or anything. All I know was I wasn't a part of it, and I normally record my WiPnChats on the Sunday. I didn't do that yesterday. I stitched my sorting hat when I think I've started stitching lunchtime-ish. And it was just a cruisy day. Maybe because he's so emotionally stable. He's just pretty much same old. He's just solid. Whereas maybe the previous Inception was a bit more erratic. Yeah, I don't know. But coming back, haven't had the slump. So yeah, and I kind of feel like I'm on a bit of a holiday with work, even though I'm not. But I'm just going to have pretty much the office to myself when I go in. You know, which is kind of nice, so I get to, I don't know, potter around, listen to YouTube as I'm doing whatever I'm doing, you know, and then get to come home. You know, no pressure. I've got to organise dinner for myself, because I'm not home for dinner, and I'm not eating after I get home at 9. That ain't happening. Not gonna eat that late. And then there's the wind down when I get home. His nibs will probably be in bed. Hopefully he'll stay up. You? He tends to go to bed kind of any time from 8 onwards. So if he stays up, that would be a bonus. Otherwise, I'll be coming home and, you know, checking that he's had his meds, which I've got to follow up on. Yes. Yes, so stop listening. So yeah, I'll sort out his meds before I go. I've got an alarm set to ring the chemist and say, have you fixed it? Because if they haven't fixed it, it gives them time to fix it so that I can get his meds organised for his afternoon dose. Such pain. God. It's a pain because it's a controlled drug. They just don't hand it out. They won't hand it out days in advance because, you know, potentially you could overdose. And I'm kind of thinking, all I want is to get it on a day that's convenient for me. I want to get it on a Saturday so that I can dispense it on a Sunday. I don't want to have to go out on a weekend if I don't have to. It's my day off, driving, going anywhere, even though it's only like 5 minutes down the road. It's still, gotta get in the car, gotta do this. Temptation, you know, because the chicken smells so good. You know, yeah. I just want a day. Anyway. Yeah, so I'll get that sorted. That's that. So yeah, stitching again next weekend, just 3 hours before work. And then I have Monday, Tuesday off afterwards, which means that I'm in bed to be able to listen to Cal. I love going to Cal's lives. She is live at 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time, so English time, and it's always the same old, same old. It's, you know, it's Abra, Trace, it's Danielle, Rachel, you know, the regular crowd, and we all enable. And, you know, Danielle sits there and she's kind of going, oh, I'm so innocent, I'm just stitching this. Hey Pippa, what are you doing? And it's kind of like baiting me to go and enable. So this morning I went and looked up Etsy Easter things and found the cutest bunnies and gnomes. It's a lot of fun. And we always talk food. I think they were talking chips when I came into the live. I think Rachel was saying she was binging on something. She's been watching US YouTubers and they're talking about some particular food. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to chat with her because her internet has been sketchy. But Rachel, have you got a supermarket cartload of American goodies to start bringing home yet? I know whenever I visit Ireland, I go to the supermarket and I buy chocolate. It's my thing. I go to Ireland, I buy chocolate, I buy chips, and yeah. And it's something like 10 kilos of stuff. I actually plan the trip. Yeah, it's pretty bad. At least 10 kilos. because it's got to do me for, you know, years, potentially. I actually have got a couple of supermarkets here that do sometimes sell. They're not shipping to Tassie lately. And my son, of course, is never going to buy me anything because, you know, he's way too practical. He's got the attitude like, no, he clearly doesn't love me enough. And he'll go, you don't need it. So he won't buy it. Which is kind of like Marcus's attitude as well. And Marcus will go, no, you don't need it, I'm not buying it for you. It's like, that's just cruel. Now, is this, that's not the right colour, that's not the right colour, oh my god. Trying to find the right colour, no. 37, there we go. 37704. Alright. Do you remember the days before Diamond Art Club really took off and you used to get your drills from China in 200s? Yeah. That's, yeah. We get so spoilt. If you're a Diamond Art Club customer, you know what I mean. The monster bags, the not getting drills in 200s. Right at the end of the funnel. Okay. Ooh! Diamond Art Club have said that they have new drills coming out. They are even shinier than normal. If you are a Diamond Art Club customer, particularly if you are a Ruby Sapphire Diamond, there is a VIP group that you can join. If you haven't seen your invite, where the heck have you been? Because Diamond Art Club have been emailing and messaging and sharing and all that kind of thing. Anyway, the point of me saying this, they had a little video of their factory and they had a little video of their new drills versus their current drills. They're phasing through some of the old drills now, and a lot of the kits are actually going to be the new drills as we move through. Move along. And when they say the new drills are shinier, you know, than the old drills, you kind of think, yeah, how is that possible? Oh my god. Yeah. So they're half and half, I think, or portion and portion. 310s at the moment and 939s, but I think in the next, I think by June, all the new kits are going to be all the new drills. So wait for it. And that could also mean the restocks as they come through and everything else. Insider chit chat is that if you are part of the group, we were given a schedule as to when the restocking is going to happen. So if you're interested in all things Diamond Art Club and you know, are up there in your status, then come and join the group. If you need the link, I will either have it in the description or just message me and I will send you the link. I don't think it's a secret group or anything, so you can find it. It's Diamond Art Club VIP group would be your magic words for searching on Facebook. And There is a particular discount code for that group. Mrs. Coffee is the other group. Mrs. Coffee and Rachel is the other group that have special codes. If you use my discount code, we'll go for it too. You get 15% off with that. It's HiPPO15. So yeah, well worth kind of. What? You got a fruit platter. Lovely. You've got melons.
And Daddy's got the leftover bits.
She's got one of her little oval plates, which is like that size, and he's got a normal dinner plate, which is that size, and it's heaped with the leftovers. Yeah.
Well, when I say leftovers, right?
Yeah, he was a little bit generous with the watermelon, and he's got, you know, a plate of watermelon plus a few other
we're halfway through the week and nobody's touched any of the melons, so it's time to get stuck in.
Yeah. See, his mid-morning snack with Sophie is the fruit. And I'm terrible and don't eat it.
Lollies.
No. I give her the fruit.
Biscuits.
I give her the fruit thing. And I share when I do it. That's not fair.
Seem awfully defensive all of a sudden.
You seem awfully judgmental.
No, I'm always.
As always. Yeah.
Got to be consistent.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise you'd be surprised, wouldn't you?
Yes. I was trying to see if you can actually see the confetti or the colour difference. It's not so bad. They're pretty close. Of course, this is going to take me an age. The other custom I have of a similar, it's the same view, but I actually can't remember if it's a sunrise or sunset. But I got Treasure Studios to do that for me. This is 41 colours. Treasure Studios had wanted to give me 20 colours, and I went, don't think so. And then when she showed me the mock-up, I'm kind of thinking, I am seeing some nasty pixelation over there on the side. Why? And I said, can I not have more colours? Like this other company can give me more colours. And she was like, no, because it's enough colours. And it's like, okay, well, let's give it a go. Yeah. But I'm a little bit kind of scared. And you know how it is when you put so much time into something and you end up with a pretty ordinary result. It's, you know, yeah, I don't know that I want to invest 70 hours of time to then go, yeah, this is as crap as I thought it was going to be. And there is a certain amount of trust the process kind of thing. But yeah, when you have a sneaking feeling it ain't going to be what you want in the first place. Yeah. And I know, look, I was stitching yesterday and the sorting hat has pale green in it and cream and things like that, and I'm kind of thinking, how in the heck is this going to come out looking like the sorting hat? Well, it does. It just does. It's amazing. And one of the links that I put up in Cal's group today was the most gorgeous bunny, and it looked like a painting. It was stunning, and she had literally got all the pixels. Confetti ridiculous, but it looked like a painting and it would have looked amazing. And the colours that were in it were going to be crazy. You know, not what you would expect to be on a rabbit to give you the colours that you want. So there is a certain amount of trusting the process and kind of going, well, why is there pink on my white dog? And that kind of thing. And I think some cases it actually comes down to people not understanding colours and not understanding that when you break down colors, you get reflections. I've got an artist colleague who she's a fine arts thingamajiggy. Anyway, she's skilled enough to be able to paint glass and make it look like she's actually painted glass. You know, so she'll do vases and you know, glasses with flowers in them and stuff like that, and it really looks authentic because she's working with the reflections and the light, and she can just make it work. Whereas you two, you know, in your non-art trained eye perhaps, you'll look at glass and you go, but it's clear, and then you've got to kind of go, oh, you know, and look, well, there's the white bit, and you know, all that kind of thing. There was, I think it was a video Lynn might have sent me, of an artist who was putting so much detail into their portrait that it was just incredible. The close-up video was putting in these fine little lines at the lips. Well, that was one section, and then they zoomed into another section, and then they zoomed into one more section before showing the whole picture. The whole picture looks like a photograph, or like a real person. It was like, oh my god, because they've got the highlights and everything else in such fine detail. And it's that kind of skill and talent that's where we have to kind of trust the process in some instances. That while you might not think that color there is made up of 5 different colors, it, you know, it still works when it is using them, kind of thing. So yeah, there's that. Which is why we have, you know, so many comments saying just trust the process, particularly with customs. And while the drills themselves are driving me kind of bonkers, I really, really like how Alan renders the picture and the detail and everything else. Like, you know, the only issue is it's double-sided canvas and the drills are not brilliant. If they were ever moment drills, that it would be a dream to do. It really would. And you need, from my point of view, you need the square to have the details because it's a smaller pixel than the round. And yeah, see, I still haven't got my experiment done. I need to, really need to do that so that I can show you in reality why I say it's such a marked difference. Okay, so what are we up to? It's going to be a bit of a longer video because I'm going to have inserted the farm piece as well. And this is still 2 colors, 3 colors. Where is... Oh, I think it got flicked up, that's why. Gee. Oh, I got my my nails done for Paddy's Day, my green nails that are not overly Irish green. And while I was over there, I picked up my cheese curds from the Canadian shop, so I can now make my own poutine. Where did that go? It dropped. Where did it drop? I'm not seeing a crooked drill. Don't do that, please. Alright, so yeah, I've got chicken stock.
You don't like the glove board anymore.
I've got chicken stock in the freezer, and I've got, I think it's lamb in the freezer, so I can make a gravy. I just need to get the potatoes because we don't have the right chip potatoes, and then I can...
For those of you who haven't heard about potatoes in Tasmania, you're all missing out.
Yes, there are an awful lot of potato varieties in Tasmania. Well, depending on where you go. Okay, there's a lot of varieties of potatoes in Tasmania, right? And that's a thing. But if you go to one supermarket, Coles, they don't have varieties of potatoes. They just have white potatoes or something else.
Baking potatoes.
And it's just like, oh, you're treating me like I'm an idiot. What is the variety of potatoes? So I cannot go and buy potatoes from Coles because they are flaky and they explode in water. They don't even tell you that they're good for boiling. Or
they have a generic price list that suits all of Australia, and they just fill in the local stuff to match it. Whereas Woolies have local stuff per store almost.
Yeah, well, anyway, the best potatoes for potato salad, which crop in the summertime, are called pink eyes. They have a couple of different varieties of pink eye, and if you can buy them from South Arm, which is a peninsula kind of over that away, down where I used to live. If you can buy them from there, they're actually grown in sand. So it's a dense potato. In Ireland you had a waxy potato or you had a soapy potato. I don't even think they're kind of waxy. They're just a solid potato. They boil really well. They hold their shape and they're almost sweet, and they don't get huge. You can get huge, but when you're putting them in a potato salad, you don't want necessarily huge potatoes, but they are divine. So this is the kind of potato that you boil, and yeah, I know, Irish talking about potatoes. This is the kind of potato that you can,
and even better, an Irish one
you can boil or steam, and then you just throw the butter all over it and you're done. You don't need to do anything else to it. You can, as I say, do it in a potato salad even. My potato salad I actually do with half sour cream, half mayonnaise, scallions, spring onion, through it, and bacon, and toss it all together while they're still warm, and it is just yum. So that is the summer potato. So you always get the potato at Christmas time down under, and they are incredible.
Well, in Tasmania, right?
In Tasmania, yeah. Kennebecks are a good chip potato. Low water content, but not a good, and they're a good baking potato as well, but not a good
one of the only potatoes
mashed potato.
High temperature for
oh, it's not low water, it's low sugar.
For twice or thrice fried chips.
So they make the best twice fried chips. And to be honest, you cannot get decent chips, hot chips, out and about. Very few places will get really, really good chips because they use manufactured chips, pre-cooked and all that jazz. They don't actually make it by hand or anything else. Very few places will do that. So in Ireland, it always used to be handmade chips, but not here. So I do really miss handmade chips. And salt and vinegar as well.
Thankfully your husband.
Yes, but Marcus does awesome chips, and because of how we're eating at the moment, which is basically meat, and we have like a coleslaw kind of salad with it. We haven't had chips in forever, just because it's summer and we're not using the fryer or anything like that. So,
And you can't get Kennebecs Christmas time.
And you can't get Kennebecs during the summer anyway, which is good because, you know.
December to February, March.
Yeah. But they are awesome. And then the potatoes that we get for roasting are called Nicolas. And yeah, it's a good mashing potato. It's a good roasting potato. Gets nice and crispy, kind of caramelized. Yeah, in Ireland it was yeah, wax or soap. I never understood it. We had some apple varieties. Well, Tasmania is the apple isle, and we have apple varieties coming out the wazoo. They're actually saying, some of the orchardists are saying that they haven't got staff to be able to pick the apples. I remember going out to an airport in a place called Baldonnel, which was kind of on the border of Wicklow, Kildare in Ireland, and we would pick our own every year. And you, of course, eat them while you're there. There are quite a few fruit picking places here where you go and you can pick your own. Mostly with the berries, but I don't think the orchardists have got into that kind of trend, unfortunately. But somebody was saying, I think it might have been in the back clinic or something, the problem is that the orchardists, they expect you to pick the fruit. Nobody wants to work there because you're ending up picking something like 20-40 kilos of fruit on a big kind of hopper hanging off your belly, and it wrecks your back. Whereas, you know, picking berries, it's much smaller. Picking cherries is much lighter. But the fruit picking for the apples is quite brutal on the back. So I don't know if that was making a difference, but I don't know. They started shipping workers in at the end of the summer, just so that they can do the fruit picking. Because, you know, in Australia we've got a system called woofing, whatever it stands for. It's like workers for fruit picking, or yeah. Anyway, each of the letters stands for something to do with the fruit picking. It's like workers from overseas, fruit, blah blah blah. Anyway, you can actually go on a woofing kind of holiday, on a holiday visa, and pick your way around Australia. So they basically send you, yeah, on a working holiday visa.
You as in people who aren't Australians?
Yes, non-Australians can come into Australia. Oh, you used to be able to anyway, pre-COVID. You used to be able to come in on these working holiday visas and fruit pick their way around, and they'd go from one job to the next, where you'd get accommodation, you'd get food, you'd get work, you'd get to see the sights, and you'd be with other kind of tourists, and, you know, you worked hard, but I think, you know, they played hard too. Careful. So, yes, there's that organisation. I don't know how that's gone with the whole no one travelling kind of thing. Yeah. So if you're ever wanting to travel, or you've got kids, you know, the 20-somethings who want to travel when the world does start opening up again, and they want to see Australia, that is something that they can do. I don't want your card, Sophie. Yeah. Just ask Google about it and you will get all the information that you need. I don't know if there's an age limit on a holiday visa, or if anyone can work on a holiday visa. And I don't know if they exploit. That would be the only thing I would be a little bit wary of. You need to sit and eat your fruit, Sophie. You gonna go stand? She's handing me cards. I don't quite know why. Alright. Weather-wise here, okay, I'm in Tassie. We don't have any floods here. I know you're probably going to be hearing on the news of massive floods from, you know, either people in lives or whatever being affected by the floods in Australia. Apparently it's rained all week up on the mainland, and I know my friend in Queensland was worried that they were going to get flooded out. Everything is just waterlogged at this stage. So the East Coast, if you've got people who are on the East Coast of Australia and you want to find out how they're doing, please yell, maybe even do an I'm safe kind of post within some of the craft groups. You know how there's the marked as safe kind of statuses that you can do. Please do that so that the people over in the States can, you know that you're okay, because to a certain extent the media kind of go, oh, the whole of Australia is flooded, and it's not. And, you know, it was like the whole of Australia had bushfires last year, and it wasn't. But there are people in those areas who are affected. So please, if you are there, please do that. Mark yourself as safe. There's stories of floodwaters hitting a particular house, and the house literally just lifted up and floated down the river. It was a weird article because it then talked about that it was their wedding day or something for this couple. So their house floated off, but the house was actually rented to them by the older couple, and I don't know where the connections were or whatever. It was very badly written, but the story is still the same. Well, more than one house has floated away, but the article made it sound like 2 homes. It wasn't. Oh, it was really weird. There was an article by the national journalist kind of site, and the headline read something about an orca orgy as a blue whale was being murdered by a school of orca. And I'm kind of going, orgy, doesn't that involve sex? Yeah. And when I went in to have a look at the comments, somebody had gone on saying, you know what? There's no sex involved in this. That was really, really bad journalism, or it's typical of what we now get. And I was just like, yeah. Okay, so it wasn't just me that went, I think something's a little bit off with that phrasing. Yeah. Crazy. I think the media is potentially getting dumber. Sorry, my husband just had a Tourette's moment there. Probably would have choked on his melon. Yeah. media leave a lot to be desired, but when they can't even get a phrase right, it's like, oh my goodness. Sophie, can you stop that? You don't need another one. She's got into the kitchen roll, and one piece is never enough. Why again?
Huh?
Why again? Oh.
Oh,
I think this must be the biggest section I've got. Because the rest, this bit's confetti and this bit's not too much in the wide spacing. And I know I'm only using a 5-placer. Kind of a happy medium. Can you stop with the tearing, please? Look at these all down together. I'm going to leave that line on the side because it's very close to the paper's kind of overlapping some of the bits. I think that is all of the J's done though. It's really hard to tell sometimes when they've got them right next to a horn. Oh, she's got the kitchen roll. I've been binge watching Doctor Who on ABC iView. That's 37. That's been so much fun. It's David Tennant. It's series 4 with was with Martha, now with Donna. Oh, so love Doctor Who. It's so good, so good. Light entertainment with serious connotations, and because it's been a while since I've watched it, I'm kind of going, ooh, it's the sneak peek of that, and it's, you know, the sneak peek of, you know, spoilers, 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 and the comment. So yeah, there's all these kind of, it's like Easter eggs throughout it, because this is episode 4 was still Richard T. Davis when the writing was on par, on point, not on par, on point. It's just gone downhill since Mark Gatiss and is it Steve? Can't think. Anyway, it's gone downhill since they lost Richard. And you know what was funny, because Richard, I don't know what he's writing actually these days, but at similar time to David Tennant leaving Doctor Who, Richard came out with Casanova with David Tennant in it, and the writing style, clearly same guy, is so similar, and David has the same kind of delivery of his lines, and it was hilarious. If you get a chance to watch the Casanova with David Tennant in it, please do. Don't watch it with kids, they will probably be embarrassed, or you might be embarrassed, I don't know. It's a little bit risque, you know, it's Casanova, you know, the lover. But it was funny show. 4 parts to Casanova, but absolutely loved it. So yeah, there is that. But yeah, Doctor Who. And I've got the DVDs downstairs. I don't think I've got all of the ones with Matt. The problem was with the DVDs, on TV they'd release like half the series one year, and then the next half of the series was a year later. It was really frustrating how they started doing that. So yeah, it just felt like there was eternal chunks. So I'm a little bit, I haven't watched the Doctors since really Matt in great detail, whereas David and Chris Eccleston have watched them over and over again, like would binge watch the DVDs over and over again, would binge watch David over and over again. I think I've watched maybe the first series Matt was with the show. Haven't binge watched enough of them, and haven't binge watched enough of the Peter Capaldi Doctor Who, and certainly haven't watched enough of Jodie to be able to see the little kind of the Easter eggs. See, this is the thing. Richard used to put the Easter eggs right through a whole series, and or it would flow from series 1 into series 2 because you had the continuity, whereas these guys don't. Nothing seems to carry on into the next show or into the next, you know, kind of series. Like the one with the Bad Wolf with Rose. Bad Wolf kept cropping up every episode, and there was this whole trail of breadcrumbs that we got to follow as viewers. Well, that doesn't seem to be happening quite so much these days, so it's a little bit more, I don't know, disjointed or standalone-ish. Jodie is now gone. She's recording, or they're about to start airing her last few shows. And we're getting, I can't remember his name, sorry. He was in My Family. He was the dopey son. And he was in Love Actually, and he was the pommy idiot who went over to the States and the girls loved his accent kind of thing. And it was like, oh, you've got to meet my sister. And it was all kinds of corny. But he's a dry, funny actor, though. Typical, maybe, British humour. But he'll be nutty enough to be, you know, similar, I think, in style to Matt. And crack jokes, and then just have the big dopey grin on his face as he lets the line just drop. Yeah, he's a good actor. I like him. I think he'll make an interesting Doctor, and it'd be interesting to see what kind of clothes he wears. You know, I don't know if he himself has a history with the Doctor. A lot of them do. A lot of them have kind of, you know, would say that they've grown up with the Doctor. This guy's too young to have grown up with the original Doctors. So, yeah. Can't wait. Cannot wait to see what... Oh, this is dryer sheet. And I was like, same colour. No. Dear, dear, dear. Oh, there's a lot of joined up drills here, so I might have to do some squashing. If you get drills that are stuck together, the little green trays that you get, the generic green trays that you get on, mostly on the AliExpress kind of things, get one of those, get the next, put all the jewel drills in there, and just press down. That's one solution. The other solution is to get a little pill jar and a coin and shake it like crazy. Because the other way of doing it is to actually kind of crack down like that, but you can actually send your drills flying doing that. So try not to, if you can avoid doing the cracking into the tray. Yeah. I'm putting the yellow into that and I'm kind of going, hang on, this is a yellow drill, and suddenly the colour just goes just like the drill next to it. It's like it just vanishes. Excuse me. It is warm today. It's going to get hotter. It's that whole beautiful autumn afternoons, let's say, because the mornings are still freezing cold, although this morning when I was feeding the pets it was already 17 degrees, so that was quite nice. But yeah, I used to ride my motorbike to work and I'd freeze in the morning, but then I'd be in my summer gear in the afternoon. It was ridiculous. And I was very much a fair weather rider. I don't like riding when it's under 14 degrees apparent temperature. So that's the feel. Yeah, I'm a wuss. And my son was kind of saying, well, wouldn't you just wear thermals? And it's kind of like, yeah, you really can. And I probably was riding on too much of a budget when I first started. To have all the thermals and everything else and just layer up, layer down and that kind of thing. But I do miss the bike on occasion. I don't miss the idiots in the cars when I'm on the bike. But any time we drive past a bike, I'm kind of going... Like I sat next to one the other day at the traffic lights and I'm just staring at the bike and kind of going, that's really nice. It was a Vulcan V-twin with a matte paint finish on it and it was really, really pretty. Yeah. Someday. Yes. When I have all the time in the world, not gonna happen, and can travel wherever, yeah, pie in the sky dreams. Alright, I'm nearly finished. Okay, please take care of yourselves. As I said, mainlanders, if you can put your I'm safe status in the groups. Actually, I might put a post in Mrs. Crochet and Coffee and Rachel Ray's group saying, mainlanders, please let us know that you're okay. Because it is a bit scary, you know, flood time and all of that. It's a 1 in a 50-year flood, so, you know, it's not normal like this. And we've got so much concrete now that the problem is the water stays on the top and doesn't go into the system in a hurry. So yeah, it's just gonna take a week of not raining for it to ease off. Yeah, but it's a worrying time. So yes. Done. Not really much of anything. No. And it's a big painting. This is the other thing with Stitch Diamond. It's a 50 by 80 or something. No, 50 by 90, 60 by 90 even. Oh, do you hear all those drills? That shouldn't be happening. Not in a bit that's already been done. But there you go. And it will look amazing when it's all complete. Alright, look after yourselves and I will talk to you all soon. Look out for any bonus videos, so don't forget, if you haven't already got that bell run for all posts, give the little bell a thing so you've got the little lines on the outside of it. So you get to see when I post photos or even, you know, little videos that you might kind of miss if you're in the feed and that kind of thing. Yes, I'm finishing now. I'm going to say goodbye. You going to say goodbye? She's waving. Bye-bye. Thanks. With a mouthful of apple. Bye. See you on the tubes, and yes, I'll see you next week. Bye. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.